Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to give you a quick overview of my RODECaster Pro setup. It's not that I have any immediate plans of doing a podcast. I'm just experimenting with my audio setup and editing workflow. And part of me just wanted to give this thing a really good, thorough look over. And let me say that none of this is sponsored. I bought the RODECaster Pro with my own hard-earned money. This guy is going to run you about $600. So if you're not familiar with the RODECaster Pro, an all-in-one mixer, sound effect player, phone tap for taking phone calls, it's an audio recorder and of course great for recording podcasts. Here's a quick look at all the connections coming into the mixer. And to be clear, all I'm looking to do is have a better, cleaner sounding audio for my YouTube channel. So I'm currently testing the RODECaster Pro with my existing overhead mic just out of frame here to see what the sound quality is actually like. And feel free to let me know what you think of the audio sound in the comments below. And the feedback's always welcome and appreciated. I'll explain what you're seeing on the screen in a moment as well. So I won't actually know if there's a huge difference or not until I create and upload my video to YouTube. With YouTube's file compression, it's not always apparent to me if the audience, if you guys are going to actually hear exactly what I'm hearing directly out of the mixer. For this audio, I actually have two separate audio recordings. You could do this as well if you want to have redundancy built into your audio recordings. So the first audio recording is recorded directly into the RODECaster Pro from my RODE VideoMIC NTG overhead mic here again, which gets saved to a micro SD card within the RODECaster Pro itself. We'll call it primary audio, and it should sound significantly better than the redundant audio file which I have set up as well. The second audio recording is being saved directly into my camera's internal SD card, and I'm using my Canon 6D Mark II for that audio recording. We'll call that secondary audio for the purpose of this video. So what I'm going to do is switch the audio back and forth throughout this video and note on screen when I'm playing audio from the RODECaster Pro, again, the primary audio, or when I'm playing the camera audio or secondary audio. But what I also want to do is show you my specific setup regarding cabling in case you want to cable and configure your RODECaster VideoMIC NTG to your RODECaster Pro as well. Yeah, I know that's a lot of RODECaster terminology being thrown around. Hope there's no confusion. Now, one of the best features of the RODE VideoMIC NTG is it automatically turns on and off when you power up your camera, and I want the mic to keep doing that even though it's now cabled directly into the RODECaster Pro. So what you're going to need is this. It's a RODE VXLR Pro. It's a 3.5mm to XLR adapter with a power converter. I'll also leave links down below to all the hardware if you're interested. This one is going to run you about $40 US. I need to mention that there's actually three different types of RODE VXLR adapters. I'm using the RODE VXLR Pro in my specific setup. There's also one called the RODE VXLR Plus. Both the Pro version and the Plus version will convert phantom power to plug-in power, but the third version, the RODE VXLR, does not. So again, three versions of this particular adapter. So if you're using a similar setup to mine with the RODE VideoMIC NTG or something similar that requires plug-in power to automatically turn on, you're going to need either a Pro or a Plus version of this adapter. So I have this adapter connected directly into channel 1 XLR input into the back with a separate 6 to 8 foot 3.5mm audio cable connection running directly into my RODE VideoMIC NTG. And that's what I'm showing you here. Now, when I power up my RODECaster Pro, my RODE VideoMIC NTG will automatically power up as well. And I'm also monitoring my audio levels with the headphones that I have on here. These are the Audio Technica ATH M30X Professional Studio Monitor headphones. Again, links below. Then I have a 1/4 male to 3.5mm 1/8 male TRS stereo audio cable. It's a braided cable connected into a 1/4 inch headphone output number 3 on the RODECaster Pro, which is right here on the back again of the RODECaster Pro. That cable goes directly from the RODECaster Pro over to my Canon 6D Mark II audio input, and I can control the audio output into my camera, again from the RODECaster Pro. Again, this whole setup is just giving me better levels of control over my audio, and with the preamps in the RODECaster Pro, everything should be sounding a lot cleaner. I can play around with my audio settings in the RODECaster Pro as well. There's a ton of options in here now because I have my mic connection to the first XLR input. of 4, I'll also want to go into my microphone settings for channel 1, and under the microphone setting, I'll select condenser option for the RODE VideoMIC NTG. If I was using one of the more popular mics like the RODE PodMic, the Procaster, Broadcaster NT1, NT1A, or Electro Voice RE20, there are presets already built in for those as well, and you could select one of those options. Now after that's done, I would just want to adjust the level settings. This is where I would get set my gain for the selected channel. The control in this menu does a slightly different job than the fader on the front panel of the RODECaster Pro. The fader allows you to control the volume of the channel in your podcast, whereas the gain ensures that your video will be loud enough and not distorted and give you the best quality. And to get a good level, start talking into your mic at a natural volume, not yelling or whispering. You'll see the meter on the screen lighting up, and you'll adjust the level either plus or minus so that when you're talking, the meter is reaching into an area indicated by the green lines. And if you need to run on phantom power for a condenser mic, you'll find that here as well. Again, because I'm using the RODE VideoMIC NTG, I want to enable phantom power. If I turn phantom power off on my mic, it won't power up automatically when I turn on my RODECaster Pro. Nearly all condenser mics do require phantom power. You also have voice settings and audio processing settings. You can adjust those as well. But for this video, I'm not going to dive into those, settings. The goal of this video was simply to show you my specific setup. And if you're using the RODE VideoMIC NTG with the RODECaster Pro, that it can be done and provide you with some audio samples, again, the way that I have it set up. Now, there's limitless ways that you can actually set up your RODECaster Pro, and this is just my setup that I wanted to share with you, and hopefully it may help some of you out. Okay, so now this is the audio going directly from my overhead RODE VideoMIC NTG, going directly into my camera, my Canon 60 Mark II. I've completely eliminated the RODECaster Pro from this audio setup. It's just a direct connection between the camera and the mic. So let me know if what you're hearing in this audio, and I'm going to listen to it in a minute, should sound worse because there's no audio processing going on. Like I said, it's not going through the RODECaster Pro. From everything I could tell, the primary and secondary recordings earlier in this video sounded exactly the same. So my deduction, and I haven't researched this yet, is because it was going through the RODECaster Pro, despite how it was, despite the one going into the camera directly and the one coming off the SD card, the processing sounded to me to be exactly the same. So I couldn't hear any difference between what I pulled off the SD card on the RODECaster Pro or what I pulled off the SD card off the camera. Again, both connections were coming through the RODECaster Pro. So it appeared to do the audio processing, whether it was coming off the SD card there or off the camera. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. And that's about it for this video. If you got any value out of watching, please do me a favor and give the video a like, a thumbs up, maybe think about subscribing. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.